Rocks are everywhere, lumps of compressed dirt from which the planet is made. Some provide us with the elements needed for building the world around us, others contain some of the most valuable elements on the planet. However, when one thinks of these boulders, rocks, and pebbles, we don't think of them as being alive, but maybe we should. Could there be living rocks out there? And what type of cryptids would they be? Let's take a look. Welcome to IF, videos on history, mystery, and the strange. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video again.
Hey, take it easy, man. Over here, there's a pile of rocks waving at you. Here. Yeah, I'm actually a thing. I'm a being. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Cork. I'm kind of like the leader in here. I'm made of rocks, as you can see, but don't let that intimidate you. You don't need to be afraid unless you're made of scissors.
The comic book character Korg is a fictional character appearing in Marvel Comics and later the movies, and was created by writer Greg Pak and artist Carlo Pangalayan. He first appeared in The Incredible Hulk Volume 2, and after being wonderfully voiced by Taika Waititi, became a much-loved part of the Disney franchise. Korg is not the only rock creature to have appeared on film. The Gnome King, portrayed by Nicol Williamson in 1985's Return to Oz, was a man-like being made from stone. Legends of Nordic trolls tell of how the creatures can turn to stone at will, and the stories of gargoyles, which again morph from rock to living creatures in the moonlight. It seems that living stones have always been an idea that has been toyed with in myth and legend. So is there any truth to this? What cryptid creatures match with a stony description? When thinking about cryptids and stones, rocks, and other boulder-based life, the rock ape springs to mind, but these were primate-like creatures named because of their supposed propensity for throwing rocks. And while talking of primates, the Iroquois people believed that a race of giants who would cover themselves in stones for armor once existed and fought against the Native American tribes long ago. But these cryptids and their stories describe animals which use rock and are not being made of rock. Another strange cryptid associated with boulders is the slide rock boulder of Colorado. This animal is ingrained in Colorado's history and is said to be a dangerous mountain-dwelling monster. The animal is described as a large whale-like beast. Reports began to surface in the late 19th and into the early 20th century. Most commonly spotted by those working in the Colorado mountains, people such as lumberjacks and miners, this one-of-a-kind cryptid is a strange animal. It makes its home in these beautiful mountains, but strangely is only said to settle on cliffs that are at or over a 45-degree angle. The massive monster has an immense head, small eyes, and a huge mouth with a flared tail that has an enormous grabbing hook at the end. Its appearance being similar to that of a whale, minus the whale's adaptations to life in the oceans. Stories tell of how the slide rock boulder would sit motionless on the side of its mountain, waiting for some unfortunate soul or animal to cross its path. When it spotted its prey below, it would release its hooked tail from the rocks, sliding down the mountain at a great speed, its mouth agape, ready to swallow whatever was beneath the behemoth. Once it had captured and eaten its prey, it would use its hooked tail to climb back up the mountain and reset its trap. This is where those that believe in the animal point to evidence of its existence. When the animal slides down the mountain, its massive bulk carves a path through the trees and soft earth, and in one particular story, it slid straight through a town. The slide rock boulder is said to be responsible for the destruction of the mining town Rico. Legend tells of how a man wanted to draw the animal out into the open. He wanted to kill the beast. He baited the animal with a dummy dressed like someone out on the mountain, complete with a Norfolk jacket and a guidebook of Colorado. This dummy, it is said, was stuffed full of gunpowder and fulminate caps, basically a bomb. As planned, the dummy caught the eye of the creature. It unhooked, slid, and kaboom! The resulting explosion leveled the town of Rico. Since that day, reports of the animal have been scarce, but believers still point to evidence of the animal being around today. Its tracks, the deep gouges in the ground it leaves when it slides, are often seen. Of course, this animal is on the more fantastical side of things when it comes to looking at cryptids. Some say It's a drunken story told by men working in the isolated woods and forests of the Colorado mountains. A way of explaining how men lost their lives or disappeared while working on the mountains, and the destruction caused by landslides makes for a convincing piece of evidence. If this animal is real or not, I will let you decide. But one animal that is very real and very rock-like is the Payura chilensis. This real-life living rock is one of the weirdest creatures ever seen. The sea creature looks exactly like a stone. When broken in two, it reveals what looks like guts. And this is not even the strangest thing about this animal. Just like a rock, the animal is incapable of moving. It sits in place, feeding by sucking in water and filtering out microorganisms. Other oddities exist with the creature, like the fact its clear blood mysteriously secretes a rare element called vanadium. Also, it's born male but becomes hermaphroditic at puberty and reproduces by tossing clouds of sperm and eggs into the surrounding water and hoping that they knock together. The self-sexing, vanadium-secreting intestine rock creature is found off the coast of Chile and Peru. People living in that area feast on the sea creature, eating it raw or in stews. The taste of the living rock is said to be bitter and a little soapy, with a weird iodine-like aftertaste. Maybe the taste is coming from the vanadium, which is also found in crude oil and tar sands. The rock creature, Payura chilensis, can have up to 10 million times more vanadium in their bodies than is found in the surrounding water, vanadium being the chemical element with the symbol V and the atomic number of 23. It is a hard, silvery grey malleable transition metal. The elemental metal is rarely found in nature, but once isolated artificially, the formation of an oxide layer somewhat stabilizes the 3 metal against further oxidization. Doesn't sound like a substance I would want to be eating. These animals are commonly found in densely packed aggregations of thousands of small handfuls of just a few, or they can be found on their own. If alone, they won't be for long, as they reproduce asexually, this because there is no way of them moving to find a mate. The animal, being a hermaphrodite, is both male and female, a real gender-fluid rock star.
Oh, yeah.
When it does decide to reproduce, it births tiny tadpole-like offspring that will eventually settle onto a rock to grow into the adult form. And hey presto, we have another living rock. This strange real-life creature sounds more like a cryptid than the slide rock bolter. Could that mean that the Colorado-based creature could be real? I don't know about you, but I'm going to be looking more carefully at rocks in the future. Do you believe in a whale-like creature sliding down the sides of mountains? Had you heard of the strange rock-like sea creatures of Peru? What other rock-like life form do you know about? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. A big thank you to all of you for helping to get the channel to 8,000 subscribers. I hope you are well, safe and healthy. I think this difficult period will soon be over. But if you have been affected in any way by the measures that have been put in place, please feel free to drop me a message and maybe a chat could help. So until next time, if you like what I do here on the channel, hit that red button, like and share. You can catch the latest by searching We Are If. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.